That's the one trade we had. Good morning, traders. I think good afternoon. Sorry, I think we're live. Well, it's good morning somewhere, but it's good afternoon here from Moscow. I'm back in Moscow for those of you who don't know. Be back in Dubai very soon. So let's get going. For those of you who missed the sessions we did yesterday and this morning, you may want to take a look at those because in every session, there are some parts where I would explain a little on wave analysis. I'll go into details on trades and how you should manage your trades, what you should do with them. There are little bits and pieces in every video that you can pick up. Maybe you'll learn something. And a few people have also sent me the message on joining the room on Skype. I've sent you back the message. There's no rush. You can join by the end of this month, or you can join by the end of this webinar if you want to still have the access twice daily. That is if you're joining the installment program. If you're joining full-time, you don't have to worry. You'll have all the access to everything there is. There were still a few questions of what is going to happen when you join. So since we are waiting for traders to join, I can give to those who ask very quickly. The process of joining is simple. You send me a Skype message. You choose the payment method. I'll give you the details. You make the payment. If you make a full payment, you will get into the group immediately. You'll get access to all the recordings we did for the last 3 or 4 live sessions, teaching sessions that we did. It's a 5-week training course. There's a lot of video there, about 30, 40 videos that you'll need to look at. Each video is about an hour to 2 hours, so you'll have a lot of time to do all of that. And then when we do the next live session, which is a Q&A session, you will get to do some practical part as well as ask all the questions you want and get it covered. But while you're doing that, you have access on a daily basis to at least 3 sessions where I am in the room. That is the Asian session, the London session, the New York session. The Asian session I've been missing for a few weeks now because I'm on vacation and kind of off in Moscow, haven't been settled in well. Once all is settled in for a while, then we go back to the Asian session. The Asian session is still run, but mostly by my traders. Whether I'm in the room or not, the trading room is always working. There are traders there and they're trading, and it's time 5, 6 times a day. Sometimes traders are there trading. You will have access to all of that, which means if you're trading live and if you're an active trader and you're a full-time trader, this is where you need to be because traders are here all the time trading. And they're taking trade because they know how to take trades without me. I'm here more as a guide in the room. Once you complete the course and you have some practice session here, you're good to join that group and help and listen to what they're doing and ask questions, and they will help you with all of that. Right? Now, that is if you really want that. If you really want to be a member of a very, 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 very good group of traders who are actively trading, not just symbolically, but actively trading. And that's how the group is working. Now, if you want to join the group but you do not have the money to pay full time, you can pay that same amount of money in installment, which means you're only going to pay one single sum of money for the rest of your life. If you pay the full sum, you have access to this group for the rest of your life. And the group will be here for longer than I'm going to be on this earth. That's almost guaranteed to happen because when I'm not here for a month, the group is still running. There are enough very, very good traders to make it happen. The installment traders, you can pay with minimum $100 a month, but some traders are paying $200, $300, depending on how much you want to pay, how fast you want to be in the group. That's it. That's all you need to know. Everything you need to know about trading. Some people ask, what do you look at in the group? We look at everything, anything that has to do with trading. Any and everything. You want to talk about support and resistance? We will talk about it. We will show you why it doesn't work. You want to talk, you find a new method you think might be amazing and working, bring it, we discuss it, we look at it, we break it up. We might choose something from it. We might not choose anything from it. So there's a lot of things that are happening that we can do, right? It's up to you. Just join and then you'll learn everything. That said, let's go. Let's start. So I'm going to go through. I see a lot of traders in our group already on the Zoom side. I don't know how many traders are in on YouTube. I know most of the host of things like this will start to ask you questions like where you're from and what you're doing and all of that stuff just to get you active on YouTube. Sorry, I'm not in that. I really don't believe that is productive for you, right? It keeps it entertaining and all of that, but it's kind of useless. It's more if you're doing humorous video, maybe. We're doing serious videos and we're here for serious traders, right? So I hope you actually find it interesting. Let's go. USD CAD, we'll start with that if you want. But first, I want to go through the trades that we already took this morning, right? One of the trades we took this morning was silver. We took the silver buy. Remember the gold, we didn't take the buy, not because we didn't believe it's going to go, but because there's a high probability it's making a running flat. So when we went to the gold, I said, if you have to buy silver, because if they both go up, the silver is a trade that has to go. It's more, there's a higher probability of this going rather than the gold going. Now, if you're in this trade on the 1 hour, you can still keep it. There's no reason to close it as yet, right? And the 15 minutes is going really slow, so you have to manage it, which means at some point you're going to get some pullback. There's a pullback here, there's a pullback here, there's a pullback here. You could probably still make a few of that, but it's kind of curving, and you're getting divergence. So you're on the side of caution. Anytime this comes too deep and pull back, close it. Right? If you think you want to close it now and put an entry, you can do that. Close to put an entry above the top. It's not necessary. I do think like this pullback, I still think it's going to go more. You know how to close the trade, right? Basically, you start to see a correction. Once it pull back a little, close the trade. The euro, we didn't take it. Some traders took it this morning, and when it pulled back, I said close it. If you didn't close it, there was a chance it came to the top and pulled back. If you had your entry a little higher, if you had your stop a little entry higher, you closed it for probably a few pips off. If you didn't, you'd have to take the loss. And there's a buy setup forming here now. All right, we'll change this. There is a buy setup forming here. We'll come to that later. These were all buy setups, which means they weren't active trade until something happened. We were waiting for something. So on this one, we were waiting for a pullback. We were waiting for a pullback like this. I think we got a pullback here, and you could have made a running flat and go for the buy, right? So we're waiting, not that pullback, sorry, we're waiting for this pullback, I think. Let me just see which one. No, we were waiting for this pullback here. We had this, and we were waiting for this pullback, and you actually got that pullback here once. It kind of pulled back more than once here. So we still consider whether this is another flag or it's a pullback, but it's a buy setup because we are buying this. So if you ought to buy this, your entry order would have gone here. Your entry order for the buy would have gone above this top. And it still would stay there even if you're trading this as a flat. So if you thought that this here was a separate flat of its own for upside, you would still have your entry order here. But the stop for this entry order, if you're trading that flat, would be here. If you're trading the bigger one, the stop for that would be here. Right? Those are two different trade setups. I think we can take this one and see where it goes. So let's say you are in the trade, you're tagged in the trade. If you're not in the trade, then the safest thing to do is put your entry above the top a little. Put it about 1 or 2 pips above the top. Let it prove it's still going and tag you. Now keep a stop under here and we'll see where that goes because we're trading this flag here now. Right? So this becomes an active buy. We had the Aussie for a buy setup. That should have been a setup. It still hasn't pulled back. You have to take this out. Don't put that entry order there. You still need this pullback here. So at some point, this pulls back, and then we go for the trade, right? We pull back here, go up, and then there's a bigger pullback to happen here. So I don't think we have any trade set up there at the moment. You're still waiting for a buy, but it has to pull back first. New Zealand was the same thing. I think we were waiting for a pullback. Now, New Zealand, you're waiting for a flag, and well, there wasn't much of any flag anywhere. So you need this to pull back and make a flag, and then you can probably go with the trade. CAD, dollar CAD, somebody was asking about it. There was a sell setup early in the morning, which would have been here, but I was not there, so we didn't take the trade. We were waiting for another flag. There's just a pullback here. There's a small pullback here. I don't know. It's not the equivalent of this. I would have been going with a running flat if this had come a little higher. So if you want to sell this here now, you have to be aware that it can pull back. You can put an entry order to sell here and this small pullback here, but you have to be aware that your stop has to be here. Because at any time this thing could tag you here, go back like that, and then drop. We will put this as a running flat. You have to be aware of that. But it's a sell setup. The move to the downside is big. There's a big move to the downside. If you want, you can wait for this pullback, or you can wait for a flag to sell. Those are options. But you can sell it now. It might go a lot more before you get that pullback. So we're expecting CAT to go a lot more to the downside. So the sells are okay. But remember, there was always pullback in the sells. You don't want to stay in those pullback. You want to exit the trade and sell from a better point. All right. So now that you've got this pullback, there's a small flag here. We could make an argument for a small running flat here. Can make an argument for that, which means this could go some more here and then pull back deep. Take the trade. We'll see where it goes. So we'll put this as an active sell. Swiss. Those were yesterday trades, the two options. For those of you who were here yesterday, remember what I said. This is the safe entry if you don't know wave analysis and if you can't exit the trade really fast. Which means when it does this and it stays there or it consolidates, you have to exit the trade. Now, there were a little consolidation here. You can see that. 4 candles. If you're trading the 15 minutes, that would have been a good reason to exit the trade. If not, then, well, you'll have to take a loss here because this becomes a sell setup at this point from here. Right, we're going down, so any pullback with consolidation that is coming, you can sell under the low here. The sell, if you were there and you're selling, would have been from this point. If not, you could have sold that. If not, wait for this to pull back here now and we'll sell this. So the trade we're looking for now today would be a sell setup. We just need this to go back up a little like that. Give us this flat pattern and then we'll be looking for a sell. So this is an active sell setup you're looking for here today. I think this is a really nice one, especially after you get a pullback. After you get this pullback here, this would really be a nice trade. That'd be a nice flag to sell. What else we had? We had this one. You're waiting for, well, it's coming down really slow. I am not sure the sell is a good idea here now because we only got one pullback, but take the trade, keep a stop above here. The stop is going to be how much pips? That's about a 90 pip stop, but this thing moves a lot and it moves really big. It will also give you a lot of time to get out. Should it just come here, tag you, and, you know, kind of pull back like this? If you can come out here, come out. If you can't and it goes there, it's still going to go down. This would be a running flat. And that will be your trade, right? So you don't want it to come back here for sure, but it can come back within this range. So putting your stop here might not be a good idea.
Anil, sorry
Yes.
for interrupting you. We have some CAD news and it's better not to trade.
We have news coming up. 1 second.
Yes, in 20 minutes.
We have CAD news coming up. Be careful of the CAD pair, by the way. Yes, thank you for that. Didn't realize there's CAD news. Take this off. By rule, if there's a news, you can't put a trade. We can trade the news itself, but that's a whole different story. We'll give me 5 minutes and we'll decide if we really want to trade the news here because the strategy we're using is a 1 minute strategy. Oh, take that out. It's a 1 minute strategy and it's a really, really aggressive strategy. Not sure a lot of traders can handle it. Okay, let's see what we have on the other CAD pair. So let me see what the Euro CAD looks like. If we have any really good setup for a trade, we can go there. We have a good setup here, actually. And the possibility is you can come back this much. Let me go with this and see. You can come back this much here, which would bring you back to the bottom on the 1 hour, what it looks like. Yeah, it's still sideways. You can come back here and then go back up, right? So you can expect this to drop here and then go back up. 1, 2, 3. There's the question. If it's going to do that, then how much is this? From here to here. That's 70 pips. You're going to have 50. Now, this could happen too quick. It doesn't have to go that much. It could just tag the low. If you put it tagging the low, let's go with the low as the minimum. If you go with this low, then you're left with less. You're left with from this point, 52 pips. You have to put it 20. You're going to have 30 on it. And then the speed with which it moves, it can pull back the 30 within a second. We know that, right? So it can drop here and pull back within a second and we wouldn't get it. We can get the buy setup. Here's what we can do. Let it drop, starts going back up, and after the news, we'll buy it. Right? So we can leave this alone. If they go up, then it's useless. If they go up from here, then it will only come like this and then come back. So this is useless, even if it goes up. If you look at this as a possible running flat here, or you can look at this as a running flat, either of those can be, then this will go up, but then the upside is useless. We are not going to buy it. We will let it go there and then we'll sell it from here coming back. We'll look for something like this to sell it. Not necessarily a running flat, just a flat to sell it. So that would be a better trade for us on the downside. Let's see Euro Poncad. Yeah, Poncad doesn't really have anything. You have a flat here that is useless. You have this. And this is useless. It has to come here and then probably go back up and come back. We're probably just making a big flat in this range. So whichever way this makes a sudden move, it's not going to affect anything and there is no trade. It's not going to take off, right? There's a very rare chance that happens because we haven't even broken this low. Even if you're thinking 1, 2, 3, it has to come here and then go. Right, so let's say you take this as a separate one, but you go with this as a 1, 2, 3 here. We have to come drop. We have to drop and then go back up. And we haven't got the droppers yet. So this one is mostly upside. If you take this and put it like this, it's mostly upside. It's just not ready for the upside as yet. Let me take this out. Pound, let's see, Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD has a sell setup. And potentially you can do this. You can come back to the bottom here. So let's see if we have a setup for that. Nope, not as yet. I'm on 5 minutes and it's not there as yet, right? You have this, that is clear, but this could probably come back here. I don't think this is all. If this is all, then this could drop a lot, but the consolidation is here. So the assumption is that we're in this one. 1, 2, 3, go back up there, make this one, and then drop. So just like the pound CAD and the euro CAD, there's a chance that this is going to do a few more of this before you actually go. It's a nice sell setup, though. I actually like this sell here if we're going to go with a sell. The problem is whether we can get out for positive during the news. This entire movement, this is only, that's 18 pips. That's not a trade during the news, right? That's not going to work. That definitely is out. Look for a sell setup after the news. Let's see if it's a non-event. New Zealand, let's see, New Zealand CAD. Some more up. Definitely. If you're going to put, you just have to put it 20 pips above. There's no setup here. You've got a very small flag like this one. That's a buy setup after the news. If nothing happens, this is a buy setup. It might go like this. It's not going to go in one straight line. But if you use the news, it can take off. How much pips is the pullback here? 5 pips. You have to be 15 pips above here. Not a good idea. So we'll just wait. And we're very close to this top already, right? Oh, that's the top of this one. We broke it already. So if this is on a downside, if this is 1, 2, 3 for downside, let's say this is the top and we're trying to go down more. Because this pattern is not confirmed, right? This pattern will only be confirmed. Let me put it in daily. That pattern will be confirming upside only if we break this top. As of now, you can put it like this. And this is 1, 2, 3. And this could drop from here. So if you were looking at this in terms of a flat for downside, let's say 1, 2, 3, we completed it already. And I think we might have divergence. Yes, we do. Between this and this, there's a lot of divergence there. So we don't have a sell setup, that's for sure. So if we're going to sell it, you want this to drop, make a flag, and then go. Now, can we go aggressive on a sell? This is like a channel, right? That's like a 15-minute channel. We know how to trade channels on the sell side. So if you want to put a trade here, the price is at 80, it's at 83, I think. 83.58, so you would have to go at 83.38. And that would bring you to about 38. That's here. An inch shorter here. If you want to go for the sell, this is the only one you guys can put. And that is assuming that the move is finished and it's going to drop. Now, I can see CAD making a big drop. Potential for the downside is CAD is unlimited, which means it's a really huge move to the downside. Question is, would the New Zealand CAD drop? If you want, we have a better setup on the New Zealand CAD. One, it's at the top. So even if it's making a pullback for upside, you have an advantage. If it is pulling back against this, the go up, it's gonna drop, pull back, drop, go. So there's a good chance for this trade. A 40, 50, 60 pips drop is okay. So this is the only one. If you guys want to trade the news, you know how to do it. I'll put it on that one. That's the only trade. There is no counter trade even to that. Because the counter might have been one of the other pairs that don't have a good setup. At CAD countered with a CAD sell. Take out this and counter it with a CAD sell. 20 pips on the CAD will be that's 53. So you have to go at 33. Under the low, 37. Put it under this low and go with it. Just about here. 35 even. Put it there and counter it with a CAD sell. If this goes up, you don't have to worry about it. But if it drop, you're coming back here. So you can put the take only these two, don't trade the rest. Counter it with a CAD sell. So you're gonna do one of those two. CAD Swiss. There's a very, very good buy setup here. Not necessarily all the way to the upside, but it could come here. It could come here and then come back down one more as a possible flat, or just take off as a deep correction. And then we'll put this as the running flat, right? It's going to be 1, 2, 3. I think that is possible. You can make an argument for that, right? So you'd have to put it 20 pips above, and that will be somewhere here. It's going to be, this is 16, 26, 36, 33, 38. That is not a good idea. The problem with that is if you're only coming here for downside, that's all you get. The depth of this pullback. So what you're going to do, skip this. After the news, put an entry here for the buy. If it's a non-event, right? This would be a good one. So I'll take this out for now, but after the news, you'll come back and buy this. That is if nothing happens. And that's it. For that is we don't have it. So use the Canadian and the New Zealand CAD. Use one of those two for the trade. I think that makes sense. You also have a sell setup in the Swiss yen. We'll come to that just now. Actually, it's a really nice, good sell setup. You can put an entry here. We have CAD news, so this is not affected. Just put it a few pips under because it's already broke. Right? The price is here. This is 16. You can leave it there. So you can go for the sell on this one. So we have CAD news in 10 minutes. We're not going to look at the CAD pairs. We're going to come back to those. I'll just go through the trades we have. For those of you who are in YouTube, let me just very quickly give you a disclaimer. We're not making any trade calls for anyone in here. I'm showing you how we would trade. And this is actually how we trade the news. It has a series of specific rules that you do not know. I assumed you don't know it. Our traders know it, so they would have to make that decision whether they want to take the trade or not. After the news, we'll come back and tell you how and what they did with it, right? So we've got it. Can you check RTY? I think I have the RTY here, and then we'll go through all the charts afterwards, right? You've got a nice sell setup here, by the way. You've got a really good sell setup there. I like it. Thank you. This is a good trade. And potentially to the downside, I think there is a potential for the downside. Oh yeah, there's a lot of potential for the downside. Actually, that is an excellent trade. Win, loss, or break even, this is an excellent setup. Got to be one of our traders, right? Or you watch a lot of my videos because this one is really good. You can go with this trade. Keep a stop above the top because you're going for bigger moves down, right? You're not going for a small move. You're going for if it is going to drop quite a lot. So good sell setup. We can put a sell here. Okay. Anything else? Any other specific charts you want me to look at before we start? So we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through the dollar. Let's see the dollar index. Dollar index, the sell is good. The sell we took this morning, remember when we canceled the euro sell because we saw this? It kind of drop and consolidate. So you have another sell set up here. In front of the news, I'm not sure in front of the CAD news we would trade a dollar pair, not because I think dollar CAD has no influence on the dollar pair, but you may want to just be on the side of caution. I think this should go more down. We'll be looking for more sell setups. Actually, after the news, that's an active sell. Silver, well, you wait for this and decide the trade is already gone. So if you're going to look for another buy, wait for another flag, right? Wait for another flag for the buy. This one went up a little more than expected. We had this morning. So like we were already here and I thought they'll break the top and then come back. It went a little higher. So what was the rule? The rule is if it goes higher than this, it can still do this, right? But that would be more like a 1, 2, 3 here. It will still be a running flat. If not, it has to consolidate here and then you can buy it. So do we have enough consolidation there to buy? No, we don't. Let me see in the 5 minutes what this piece looks like. We don't have enough consolidation to buy, but if this one is to pull back like this, you can put an entry over here, put a stop here, and go for the next impulse. Should the next impulse happen. So what could happen here? One out of two things could happen here right now. It's going to make a pullback like this, and you'll put an entry over here for a buy. If we are right about this being the running flat, then this is going to continue to go. If we're wrong about that being the running flat, so if it drops here and we don't think that's a running flat, then you're likely going to have this. You're going to get this flag here. See this? This flag here. And then you can sell it to hope that it actually does this and then go back up. So if it is going to still do that, this trade will be from this here. That is this one. It's going to be like this now. Right now that we've got this going. So I'll take that off. That already finished. So we'll go with that. And then we'll see this one going up. So the question is, are we going to get this or we just get a very small one? Let me show the small one. The small one is this. We get a very small one and then one more up. So the best thing, if you want to trade this to the upside, wait for this to happen and then take it, or wait for this to happen and then take it. If this happens, we'll look for the sell setup. Euro, it's still consolidating, so it's still upside. And all that consolidation is still in here. So if I'm going to buy this, I'll be very, very cautious. I'll pull a line like this and wait until we break out of this structure. So by that, I mean, let it break out, make a flag, and then buy. Because this piece here is adding, it's kind of making this look like a possible running flat. Come here and then come back. So on the side of caution, I probably wouldn't be buying the euro as yet. If it does pull back to this low and then go back up, this buy would be a good idea. Pang, buy setup. You can buy it. I don't know if anybody bought it earlier, but if not, you can buy it. We just put this. You mean you're tagged in the trade. Actually, we just came in and there was a flat here, so you can trade this flat. We were hoping that this would pull back this morning, and it did pull back here. So if we put this with this one, we'll go with this running flat. That buy is a good idea. If you put this one with this, it means we still haven't got this. So it can go up there, pull back, go up, pull back, come here, and then go. Keep a stop here. See? Now, remember, I'm not making trade calls. I'm showing my traders what strategy we will be using without telling them. So when I said you will look at this and you put an entry here and a stop here, they already know that. They know what strategy we're thinking about. And they know how to manage the trade if it doesn't go. Aussie, don't buy the Aussie. Let's see if we can get this pullback first. So you want this pullback here, and then we'll decide on the buy. Let it go somewhere. It doesn't matter. I can see a flag here, but again, there's a reason we don't take these flags in here. Because if this is standing and the flag is inside, the chances are it will come back. New Zealand doesn't have that, so it's just channeling. You can buy anytime you want. You just have to have a lot of patience with it. Right? There's no need for it to pull back. It's just channeling slowly upwards. And there's still a lot more to go, about 87 pips this morning. How much is it now? From here to there, it's 78, 79. So it only moved 8 pips. That's all the movement from this morning to now. This morning was 87 pips when we measure it. Now it's 79. So there was a good 8 pip movement if you trade it. Not a lot from London to New York open, right? So if you want to trade, the best thing to do to have an advantage is to let it actually pull back like this. And then we take this trade up. Then you know that the impulse is going to come because the correction is out of the way. CAD, we already, well, it's a sell setup, but you can't put the trade because you have news coming. It's a really good sell setup. You can see it going. But in front of the news, that is how much minutes away? 3 minutes away, you can't put that trade. I do believe it's going to drop, but that's a bad idea. Now, I probably would have put an entry order a little lower if we were in our trading room alone, then it would have been it. If not, you can take these two. That is for my traders. New Zealand CAD for the drop. Keep the 20 pips, maintain the 20 pips, and CAD yen, there's counter it with the CAD yen. Right, so we'll see which one goes. Right, if the CAD yen make a spike, if the CAD yen make another spike here, let it be. Look for a sell. Look for a sell coming down. Right, don't worry with that. So you have a good counter here in the CAD yen, so I think it's worth putting on those trades. You'll manage them. So let's come back here. Euro Oz, we're looking for a sell setup. I think, I don't know, you can actually take it here, but you got to be really careful, right? Because this pullback I'm expecting. Right, so I'm expecting this to probably drop here and go back up like this, make this flat. And then if we get this sell, would be an ideal sell. So this one is a very questionable sell in that you can take it. You just have to know how to manage your trade. Just like in the, I think was the Swiss dollar yesterday or Monday, right? Yesterday, right? So if you don't know how to manage those trades to exit them really quick on the 15 minutes, don't do that. Don't take the trade. Euro New Zealand. Okay, we're getting a pullback here. We're at the bottom of this whole structure. See, we're at the bottom of this. We broke that low. This upside would either correct this move. They will either correct this a little up here and then drop some more, or they literally go back to the top. So which is it? Remember, we broke this top already. So if you're looking at a daily structure, let's put it in the weekly structure. If you're looking at a weekly structure, this is what you have. You have that move up, you have this move down, you got that move up, you got this move down. I think this thing could get all the way. It's not moving like this. The move up I would expect would have been something like this, really fast. But this is going really slow. And we broke that top already. So are we actually trying to come back here as a 1, 2, 3, something like this? And maybe then go back up there, which means this becomes a huge correction. So we will check for divergence. And I think we do have a lot of divergence here. You can literally see it. You can literally see a divergence between this stop and this stop. And the daily, it will be much more, visual. See it? On the internally in this on the 1 hour, let's see the up move. Yep, we have divergence too. No, not divergence, sorry. This is the top. There's no divergence in that move up. So there's a chance this could go up to the top. Let's see if we have a trade on it. Well, there is a trade if you're aggressive enough. Right, if you're quite aggressive, there's a flat forming here which you can take. But with caution that it might not go very far and it's a flat for downside. So you can put an entry order here. And if it keeps doing this and, kind of do this, you take the trade off because then you get this. And you get the sell. And the sell is very likely. So you can take this trade simply because of where it is for a possible reversal. It's a very aggressive trade. It's not the best setup. This one, it's not at the bottom, but it's pretty low. So we'll put this as a very aggressive sell. A very aggressive buy, sorry. My fault. Sorry, very aggressive buy. That would be this one. And you have to manage that as you go, right? Okay, let's go. EuroCAD. The EuroCAD, the news is out. The EuroCAD spike upwards. So that means you should have the drop on the New Zealand CAD should go up. Yeah, that went up. So you can actually, after the news, you can put it here. Right? Just so you know, after the news, you can put that there. If they reverse that thing, you take the trade. This should be your trade. CAD yen. Not tagged. Let me see what it looks like. You shouldn't be in it. If the news doesn't tag you, wait for one more up. We have this. And you're getting this possibly. So you could probably get that too. So if you don't get tagged in the news, it's out. Wait for a flag. Let this confirm the sell with a flag. If it's going to continue to go, you'll get the trade. Don't worry. Always pull back, right? That drop always pull back, especially if it's not a huge drop. When it pulls back, make a flag, take the trade. If it makes a sharp move back to the top, if it ends up making this one, better yet, this will be your ideal sell setup. You need one of this or one of that, so I can make it bigger. You'll need one of these if it pulls back to the top here. This is not necessarily part of the correction, but it could be. Right? If this is all the correction, because this is the lowest point. If that is all, then this might be part of some part of one of these here. Figure out which one. If it goes back up, we'll put it together. So if it goes back up, we're going to put it like this. If it goes back up. So either you give your flag here now, or it goes back to the top. We'll see which one, right? I'll take these two out so not to bias you too early. And look for the sell setup. So we'll change it from an active sell to look for a sell setup. New Zealand CAD, it's an active sell. Keep it here. Right, this is not going out far from that, so keep it at that point. This is where you don't want to get into trade at the top there, because that's the turning point, right? See that every time they get to about there, they turn. That's how the channel works. You need a good flag above the structure before you buy it. Okay, let's see what pound CAD did. Maybe we get a sell on the pound CAD now. Okay, it's kind of good. It's a buy setup, but you don't have a trade as yet. Wait for a flag. Aussie CAD. Well, you can make an argument for a sell setup. You have 1, 2, 3. It has to come back here for this one at least, or for this entire thing. So you can look at it two ways. If this is the low in this move that went down there, you have a 1, 2, 3. I don't think that is all the correction. Right? If that was all the correction, we probably wouldn't get this consolidation here. So wait, don't try to buy this at the top there. And let's see what are the CAD pair we have. New Zealand CAD we already checked. We checked this one was the Euro CAD structure. Upside, okay, let it go break the top and then sell it. Let it break this top and then look for the sell. I'm going to leave it like this for now, but it has to go break that top before we get the sell set up. So, okay, that's for the CAD pairs. Nothing much happened. Dollar CAD, you have to wait for a consolidation now if you're going to buy it. It actually went up, so I think we can make an argument we got this. That's what we're looking for, right? So we're looking for a sell setup here. You can either put an entry or under the low, put a stop here and go for that trade, or you can wait for this to come down here and make a flag and sell. Now, here's the thing. What if this actually is going up totally, which is not impossible, right? But not likely at the moment. Not impossible, but not likely. So if that is going up, you need a really good flag there. Not even the flag, you might need a correction to get in the buy. So right now, the assumption is it's still a sell. And this should be how much pips this is? How much pips this is right now? 25 pips. No big deal. Put an entry under the low. And wait to see whether you get a flag here to buy or if it drops. If it dropped, the way you would like to see it drop is like this. You would like to see that drop there. You would like to see this flag here. Put an entry there and look for this one. So you want it to drop, make a flag, put an entry and look for that drop. That would be the ideal sell setup. Okay, so let's go. That one is out of the way. Anything else? What do you guys want me to look at? Anybody in any other trades? The only trade we have that is going right now very actively is silver. And it's kind of, you see the first pullback, nothing happened. It went back. It's coming back here. This is a little big. So, but there we have this, right? We have this big one here, right? Which means that I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be a running flat and just goes right back up. If it's going to be a sell any flag, sell it. If it starts making a flag, sell it. You can put it to positive right now. You don't even have to put the break even. Put it to positive and leave it. I would say even put the stop here. Kind of put the stop here, because if this comes all the way there, then you don't want to buy anymore. You can buy it back from here. Or if it drops more, you look for a sell setup. So if you're in this trade, put a stop somewhere here and wait to see what happens. Okay, what else? Let's go. Yen, 5 minutes. I think that M5 is a 5 minutes time frame you're looking for. On the dollar yen, there isn't any reason to look at that on the 5 minutes. You're still waiting for this flag to finish. So unless this goes back up, you don't have a trade here. You want it to go right back up like this. You can put this together and then look for a sell from here. But you need it to come and break this top first. If it goes up there, break that up, you have a sell setup. If not, just put an entry here and wait. Put an entry here and wait. So let's see, this is going up. Let it go back like this. And then look for the sell. US 30. Nothing. I wouldn't sell that as yet. There's a lot of sharp moves here that is incomplete. So although you might have a 15-minute sell setup there, a lot of very small incomplete pattern. That is, we have this sharp one and we have this sharp one. So one of this would eventually manage one of the, match one of that and go back up. So wait, if it's going to be a sell, let it drop some more and then make another flag. That will confirm the sell. It moved quite a lot, and the downside is very possible. If we're thinking 1, 2, 3, then this can come back here. As a 1, 2, 3 down. So a sell setup is not a bad idea, but you have to wait for it. You don't have much of an impulse on the 1 hour. Let it drop some more and then give you the sell setup. That would be an ideal trade. If you take this trade, you have to manage it really carefully. If you're taking the small flag at the top there, that calls for really, really serious trade management rules. And considering the way it looks, there's a good chance it could go back up like this. See? Because we never got anything for this. We got this, but this is sharp. So the correction is here. It could go back there, come back here, go back there, and then drop. Get very complex. So be careful of the sell here, not as yet. Okay. What else? Tell me what else you're looking at.
Um, I, and I'm tagged in Euro NZD.
Euro New Zealand, let's see.
Yeah, correct.
You're in the buy, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, we can go back up all the way. Just keep an eye on it because we broke the low, right? We broke this low already. So it could go back up like this. Remember this buy here?
Okay.
Remember this buy here? So it's very similar, except you got a much better one. So what you can expect is at some point it's going to make a deeper one, right? Is that it's going to come here and then make a deeper one and then go. So manage it until you feel comfortable. Take it out, get it to break even and see if you can survive it. If not, take it out, wait for the bigger one and we go.
Should I look at it on 15 minutes or 1
Yes,
hour?
yes. Keep it on the 15. That's a 5-minute trade we took. Don't go to the 1 hour. Keep it on the 15. It's going really good though. Nice. Anybody else a good trade? Just out of curiosity. That's an amazing trade not to take. The risk to reward is good. Okay.
Climbing good.
Yeah. So now we just have to wait. We don't have much choice now. Let's just wait. So if it's doing anything like this one, for example, it will give you a lot of time here to come out. But you can see the difference already, right? This one went up really slow, and this one is going really fast. So there's a huge difference. That is because we were under the low here. See, we already broke this low. This one didn't break the low. I think this one we were trading for this move if we were going to get it. All right, so now let's see if this one goes. Okay, what else? Aussie yen. Sure, let's go look at Aussie yen. Aussie yen, we're looking for a buy setup, but I want this to actually finish this move. This morning, by the way, this was one when it was at the top there. I was like, let it pull back like this. I think I went into a lot of details as to why these pullback tend to work. Because yesterday we bought it from here. And I explained you should close the trade there and let it drop. And it did drop. And now it's going sideways here. This is not good. Because here's the thing. When it goes sideways here, it's not literally meaning upside. It's meaning that this could drop one more. And there are rare times when this is a 1, 2, 3, and we take off. But most times when it's a 1, 2, 3, it's a correction. It will still come back here, come here, and then go. So we'll still look for the buy. But let this drop first. If this is the one going up, you don't have a buy setup as yet, right? If this is what is going up, you don't have a buy setup. Can you take the short-term sell? I probably wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't advise taking any short-term sell in here. Let it drop first, and then we look for the buy. So you wanted to drop something like this, and then go up for the buy. Not necessarily breaking that one, just so like this. So it's still a little upside for now. Let's look, we can look at all the yen pairs because we are still keeping an eye on them. Like this is a sell. You can put this sell here and wait. It could go back up one more, but mostly it's a sell. We're not trying to buy this as yet. And that is because of the bigger picture as well that you're in. You can put this here now. What's the big picture? Okay, so we're expecting this to go up. Literally, you're expecting this to go back up. But you have a flag there, and that flag could come back here. And then go. Right, we're looking for this move eventually up. Right, something like that, and then all of this would be downside. Like this one. Right, remember that? So here's what we'll do here. I still think the sell for the downside is a good idea. There was a pullback in here. Why do I have it floating in the middle here? Okay, this actually never give a pullback. It has to be this. Or just this piece, and that is 1, 2, 3 going up. Let's wait and see. Put it for the sell. Even if it's a correction, we'll get out for positive. And if it retests the low, that would be even more amazing. The big picture is still upside, right? So if it comes back here, as it breaks that low, you'll be looking for upside already. Okay. Europong. Let's see what the Europong has. Europong is some YouTube. Somebody's asking sell setup. We're still looking for a sell setup here. Let's see how you're gonna take this. Yeah, not excellent. And put it like this. You've got this correction here, and this is coming down. It's going to break that low. So the question is, when it breaks that low, how low would it go? Not necessarily very low, right? Especially if a channel like this. So if you're taking it, you're only taking it at this point before they go back up. So where would the trade be? I'm on the 5 minutes and we don't have a very good entry for it. You have to put an entry under the low. That's not a good idea. Never put an entry under this low when you're in something like this that can come here and then go back up. So although there's a sell setup, I'll be on the side of caution here. Just wait a little. It's downside, but we will wait for the trade. If it pulls back to the top, that'd be a better trade. Ignore the Euro Pound for now. You have like better setups that are good. The Euro New Zealand was an amazing one, better setup than the Euro Pound. Right, so this was a good one. Let's see. That's what Euro Oz has. Sorry, Euro Oz. By the way, yen, dollar yen. You can put the sell now. We've got a pullback already. It didn't go all the way to the top, but that is okay. You can put a sell here. Go with a sell here. Now this, let me explain these two. This is an aggressive sell. Right, this sell here is an aggressive one. Why? Because this thing can still come here, do like this, and then go back up. This is the guarantee in this impulse that if they're dropping, they need to drop through that. So your trade should look like this. If you see this, close the trade. Now, that is easily said. So easy I draw it, and I said, if you see this, this is. Now, can you figure out which one is going to happen while it's actually happening? We'll know that tomorrow when you join me in the morning, when you join me tomorrow morning. And if you miss the morning sessions, watch the recordings because we do analyze all the trades we took the day before, what happened to them and how you should manage them, right? All these trade managements are based strictly on pattern. Every single thing we do in here, even if you don't understand why I'm saying it, it's because it's based on patterns we know. You don't have all the details in it. My traders do have it. So when I'm drawing all those imaginary lines that you think, you're not sure whether this thing is going to even go there. Why is he saying it's going to go there? And then you come the next day and you watch it go there. It's because we have seen it before, right? So we are saying if it repeats what we saw before, this is what it can do. I can show you an example of the one I just draw. I think I showed you that on the Swiss on Monday, right? So these two lines, I'm going to go back on the Swiss so you can see that. We had the very same thing here in the Swiss, right? And the chances were this could go up. They were making a flag here. So I told you the safe trade is putting an entry here. If you can't manage the trade, it has to prove it's going to break through that and it will go. But should it just break this here and stay in consolidation there, you will have to close the trade. Now, if you take that trade and you didn't close it, don't repeat the same thing here now because you wouldn't be able to close it. You don't have, not this one. Which one was it, by the way? Good question. Somebody has to remind me. Which one was it, guys? Anybody remember? My trader's quick. It was the same on the pound. What trade we were on just now? Anybody remember? Euro New Zealand. Thank you. No, not the Euro New Zealand. It was another trade. See, I lost track. I think it was the dollar yen. Yeah, the dollar yen. Yeah, sorry. Dollar yen. Thank you. So it's an active trade and it's going to be active in a few seconds. Right? It's going to be active in a few seconds. Now, can you close the trade here if it doesn't go? It's a skill level, right? It calls for a certain amount of knowledge and skills. Practice. That is why we have a lifetime practice room where you get access free once you join the course, once you take the course. So traders who took the course 5 years ago, right now making millions of dollars. I think Johan was on this morning. He's on here right now. And although I'm laughing about making millions of dollars, that's not a joke. That's actually happening in the room. Where a trader in a single trade made $600, $600,000, sorry. I missed it by 500,000, 500 plus thousand, $600,000 in a single trade. That's posted in the group, right? So I have traders here listening to me. They know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't say something like that if it didn't happen. So you can do that after 5 years in the group. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. You don't even need to be 5 years to do that. The traders are there to help you do it faster. Right? So can you do that? Do you have the skills to do that? Because once I close this, it's not going to happen now. It's going to happen when I close the room. And I can't be here 24 hours. So when I close the room, those two things, one of those two things will happen. And you would have to know what to look for, how to manage that trade, and how to decide, well, you know what? I think I have to close this one. Or manage it so that you take minimum loss should it not go. So I'm going to look back at the trade we were in. That is the Euro New Zealand. It's going good. No need to worry. This is just the first pullback. We'll see if it starts making a bigger consolidation. You'll have enough time to close to the top and re-enter. Okay, guys, anything else? Peng Yen has the same thing. Let's look at the Peng Yen. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Peng Yen has the same thing. Good job. Thank you. So you can put a sell here. If you can manage this. This one is a little clearer for the downside. I'll tell you why. Because this running flat here is a much clearer running flat pattern. See this? It's a much more distinct pattern than the one previously. So if you go back to the 1 hour now, that could be it. This could be all your correction, and we could be dropping. Or we could be making a deeper correction, right? This could come back here and kind of make a deeper correction into a flat like this that goes back up. This trade is an amazing trade if you get it, if that happens. I'm going to take this out. This was a buy, or that was a top. That wasn't a buy. So if this should drop only to break this low here, that is going to be about 266 pip. Your risk in that trade would be something like, if you take it here, and even if you put it above the top, should be about 100 pips, 118. But you don't need to put it there. So if you're taking the trade here, sorry, go back to the 50 minutes. Yeah, if you're taking the trade here and this one, you've got to put the stop here. So the stop is going to be something like this. Oh, come on. 110 pips, and if it actually goes to where you want it to go, which is breaking this low. The minimum is breaking that low, right? And it could actually go more than that. So it will be from here to break the low, which is 189 pips. It's a good trade. It could end up going much more because eventually you want it to come and break this low. NASDAQ. Let's go to NASDAQ. It's coming down, but like I said, you probably want to wait a little more on the sell. I think wait for a pullback. Actually, now you definitely want to wait for a pullback. You want to wait for this pullback. You want it to come here and then do this. And this, then you can put an entry here and a stop here and go for that trade. That would be a good one, by the way, if it does that. It will either be a deeper correction or it's going to be total downside in the bigger picture. We looked at it this morning, so you should know that, right? It could be a correction of all of this, which means it could come pretty low. Or it could come and retest this low. So that sell is a good one. Wait for the pullback and then go for the sell. Wait for the pullback for a running flat, because if you get tagged here, it could then tag you and go back up for this one. We want something like this to confirm a running flat. If it confirms the running flat, is good. If it doesn't confirm the running flat, wait for another flag. Another flag would be the best trade. Okay, guys, anything else? Anyone? Let's go.
Sorry, I didn't have my headset on. I have I'm tagged in US yen and Swiss yen, and they're going well.
The dollar yen and the Swiss yen, right? So you're in the sell on those two. Okay, well, the dollar yen is good. If you're already in, that's a good trade. I wouldn't be worried about it. You have an advantage there. Where is the dollar yen? Okay, here. Yeah, but if you're in, that is a good one. This is the sell. I should put the sell on, sorry. That's a good one. I wouldn't be worried very much. Keep a stop there and let's see where to go. And you're in the Swiss yen as well, right? Swiss yen sell. Yeah, this is going good. You don't need to worry about it. This one, we're trying to get it to break this low, right? This is coming back to break this low here. So you want it to break out of this structure, which I think we already did, or we're going to do very soon. And then you want it to come here and see what happens at that point, right? Let's see if we can get it to go back there. The daily for the euro, see the target upside. Let's see. Euro daily. Not necessary. It doesn't necessarily have to come back here. It could, but there's no exact. If we look at this as the correction, which I am not looking at, we'll have to look at that as a contracting flat, right? There's a 1, 2, 3. And if this breaks the top, we will have that option, right? To look at this as the 1, 2, 3. And then come back here, right? So we might get that option. It's partial there, but it doesn't have to break it. If it turns from here and come back, if they turn from there and come back here, we'll look at this as the flat. Remember, this is a weekly correction, so it doesn't necessarily have to go immediately. It'll come back like this, and then go back like that, and then come back here, and then go back like that, and then we'll look for the downside. Then we'll get this flat, or just come back. It will just come back and retest this top, and then drop. But I don't think so. I think we're in this huge consolidation here. Weekly. So we're in this huge consolidation for upside, right? So it would have to go there if it breaks it up. If it doesn't break, it comes here, go back there, come back here, and then we go. That would complete this flat. Right? If it doesn't do that, then it will, if it breaks the top, then we would assume that you break the top, this is over. We're just coming here and then going up. So let's see which one it does. You're very close to the top, though. It's very close to that top, and we probably have divergence if we look in a daily. We will get divergence if they break that up. We don't have it, but if it breaks the top, let me take this out. If it breaks the top, we'll get divergence. So I think that would be good for us, right? The top is here. This top we're looking at, right? If they break that top, we'll definitely have divergence. Let's go 4 hours. We're getting internal divergence in the 4 hour, so that's a good thing. So you're getting internal divergence between this and this, which is a good thing. And then if you go on the 1 hour, that will show you absolute divergence. And then you want to see within this for divergence, which means once this break the top, you're already getting divergence. See? So it's going, it doesn't necessarily have to break that top. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to get it to break even before it reverses. If it breaks the top, we'll see. There's no necessity for that, but it could break it. Message retracted. Okay, what was the message done? NASDAQ, we did it already. Anything else? Any good thing you guys have? Don't be shy, we'll put it. So, okay, guys, if nobody has any questions, we'll call it a day. Trade with care, you know what to do. I gave you an update on all the charts you wanted. We can look at some more charts if there's any charts you guys are interested in. Let's see what tomorrow. Remember the New Zealand trade I was telling you guys today about? Because tomorrow, I think New Zealand has some news event coming up. No, those are weak news event. We'll see. We have FOMC tomorrow. We will probably trade FOMC tomorrow, but that would be only inside for my group. If we break that up on euro, we're definitely trading FOMC. If we get a reversal in euro tomorrow, we're trading FOMC. So most likely tomorrow afternoon, 9 p.m. my time, within our group, we'll be trading FOMC. It will also be for the installment traders. We'll use the London link. So if you're an installment trader, you will get access. We'll use the London link tomorrow afternoon at 8:30 my time. That is Moscow time. This is Moscow time I have. What time is it now? It's 4 p.m. Yep, I have the Moscow time. So you will have to check when is FOMC your time, and 30 minutes before we'll be in the trading room trading. We'll use the London link, not the trading room, we'll use the London link. I'll remind you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm closer to you now, right? You can take a trip over to Moscow. Moscow is nice. Moscow is a nice city in general. I'll in Romania. I've never been to Romania. I could probably take a trip. That makes sense. I went to Germany in my school days. I went to London. I stopped in at Amsterdam for a day. Germany, I think, was 2 days. Amsterdam was a day. We went to the train from Moscow to, during the Soviet days, we went to the train from Moscow to London. You go to the, I think we went to, I can't remember which thing, and then we went over the channel with the boat. They didn't have the tunnel that time. We went with the boat to London. I think I spent a month or so summer holiday in London and then came back. So we passed through a few of those cities and we stopped in for a day. And so it's the Soviet days, things were different. That was my school days when you could just put a bag on your back and travel, right? Oh, I don't know about good food. I think I've been to some countries where the food is from around the world. Dubai, you could find almost anything you want. Like literally any food you want, you can find there. Authentic, made by the people, right? You can find a restaurant. I think when my nephew came, he was in the Marines, in the US Marines, and he came to Dubai and he was like, he traveled a lot and he went to Texas. He went Texas wings or something like that. I don't know what's exactly it's called, but it's Texas, these wings, they make hot wings or something like that. And he came to Dubai and Texas wing is not all over in the US. So he was pretty sure if they don't have places all over in the US, they're never going to have one in Dubai. So he said to me, you definitely don't have that in Dubai. I'm like, okay, let's check. 30 minutes after I was sitting with him in one of them eating Texas wings. He couldn't believe that, oh, wait, you mean they don't have in so many states in the US, but they have it in Dubai? I'm like, yeah. That's amazing. It's really, really thing that you can find almost. I see Caribbean food in the US, in Dubai. I think it's Jamaican. I'm not sure. I think it's Jamaican. I didn't go, but it's there. There's a Caribbean place. And it's not like you have a lot of Caribbean people there. You probably have about a couple of us who are living there, but they have Caribbean cuisines. They have I think it's a club. So in January, I don't know. I'll be there in September. I'll go mid-September. I'll be there for about a month and then I'll come back because I'm a tourist in Moscow. I'm on tourist visa right now. So I have like 3 months and then I have to leave. Okay, guys, all of you have fun. Thanks for being here and thanks for visiting. Don't forget to pass the news on to those who might want to join us. If they can, you see how this works. You have an advantage, and there definitely is an advantage if you come here. Even if you didn't take a trade, you learned something. Euro in New Zealand, where is it? Even if you didn't take this trade, at least you learned something. Right, really good trade, going nice. I think there's a lot of trades. You can go back, track all the videos we did. You will see why we close the trades and so on. It's going good. Like I said, you don't have to close this. This is going good. So I'm going to see all of you tomorrow. Take care, trade with care. Have a great time. Have fun. Enjoy life. It's pretty short. I can tell you. I'm in my late 50s. I know I started, I know it's moving fast. Life is moving fast. So I'm going to see all of you guys. Take care. Trade with care. Bye.